All right, everybody, welcome to our very first live session about WPPI 2023, which I cannot believe that we are in 2023 and that it has been more than 10 years since the first time I attended WPPI. So this is very exciting. I am so excited to have all of you here today, and we're going to just give the internet a little bit of time to catch up. Let some of you have a few more minutes to join. I know that we had links kind of going out all over the place, and this is airing in a few different places. So I'm going to give you guys some time to join. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. Time is your most valuable currency. So it means a lot to us that you're showing up here for us today. And we promise it's going to be a fun, I don't know how long, maybe 30 minutes to an hour or so. Some of you have been to WPPI before, and for some of you, maybe this is your first time attending or your first time thinking about attending. But either way, I think that you are going to love it this year. I can't wait to share with you a bunch of the new things that we have coming for you and some of the older things that you have grown to love as well. So like I said at the beginning of this, I guess I should say my name, by the way. My name is Elena S. Blair, and I have been a loyal WPPI attender. I have been going as an attendee since 2012. And in 2018, I started speaking as well. But I will say that, since that time, I made it a yearly thing. I made it an annual thing. I only missed 2021 because of the pandemic. And it has been something that has just been very much instrumental in getting me to where I am today as a photographer, as an artist, as a person. And so I'm excited to share with those of you who don't know much about it, a little bit about why I love it, and to bring on some amazing guests that will help share as well. So like I said, my name is Elena S. Blair. I am a lifestyle, family, and newborn photographer based in Seattle, Washington. And I'm very much a working photographer still. Even though I do a lot of educating, I do around 100 to 150 shoots a year. So I'm in it with you. And like I said at the beginning, we are going to talk today about WPPI. There's a lot of stuff this year that you really don't want to miss. And like I also said, we've got guests for you today. We have the infamous Roberto Valenzuela. We have Caroline Tran, who, if you haven't seen her, then you've probably not been on Instagram lately, because she's just taken it by storm. And then also you will get to hear from the lovely Kat Ford Coates. So that is all coming up in a bit. But I want you to make sure that you stay until the end. And the reason that I want you to stay until the end is that we have some really big prizes. You got to stay the whole time to get them. And also a secret announcement that I will be making too. But before we go any further, I want to play this little video to get you hyped up, to get you excited about WPPI. So let's see that. All right, well, I hope that video got you a little bit excited. I think hopefully you can feel the energy that is WPPI. And if you've been, you know what I'm talking about. You know how awesome it is. But if this is going to be your first time, I want to share a little bit about why WPPI is sort of the nexus of the photography industry. It really is the biggest and most attended conference. At its largest, I think there were like 15,000 attendees. So there's thousands of photographers. And one of the things that WPPI does that I think is pretty awesome is it brings in a global audience, where a lot of the smaller conferences, you're kind of in almost that region of the United States, where WPPI really brings in photographers from all over the world, which allows you to see and learn from so many different artists. And it's really pretty amazing about it. This is a 5-day action-packed event. You get access to over 90 industry icons. Some of the biggest names in the industry speak at WPPI. It really is the best when it comes to that type of education, when it comes to that type of inspiration. It's really next level. You get a lot of opportunities for hands-on instruction. And this year we're going to have lots of shooting bays, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then there are always legendary prizes. I really just my favorite part, I think, of the whole event, though, would be the showroom floor or the expo floor, however you want to put it. There's just this feeling when you're walking through that showroom where you know that our industry is thriving, and you know that there are so many other people in this world that share this passion that you share. It's pretty awesome. But also you get to play with a bunch of different gear. You get to see and meet your vendors. So your print labs might be there. You get to try, feel and touch all of the different types of products that you might want to offer to your clients. It's pretty incredible. But I think what most of us who have like an affinity for WPPI, I think that the reason that we have that is because of the community. You will meet some of your best friends that you don't even know you have yet in the industry at WPPI. When I went for my first time, I remember that I roomed with a friend that I had never met before in real life. We'd only been chatting on an online photography forum. And she and I are still really good friends to this day. I have made some of the most important connections that I have made in my entire 15 years as a photographer at this conference. And that is because WPPI does an incredible job of making the whole vibe feel very inclusive, but also they have great parties. They have great networking events. So before we dive in, I want to give you or share with you a really big announcement that we have, and I'm hoping that my slide is going to pop up here and that you can see what this announcement is. There it is. Yay. We are doing a flash sale, and starting now, you can get your ticket for WPPI for only $99. That's like basically free. That will pay for itself. The knowledge that you are going to gain just by stepping on the showroom floor is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So that $99 is going to pay for itself immediately. This is the biggest sale and the steepest price you've ever seen, probably ever. I don't know if I've ever seen it this cheap anyway. So no strings attached. You just go to the registration page and you sign up for $99, but you're going to need to act fast because this deal is only available for one more week. So it's going to end on January 26th. So you can use the code FLASH99. This is a huge deal. If you have been using the excuse that money is a reason that you didn't want to come, well, here you go. We're basically letting you come for like a ridiculously low price. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the giveaways now. We're going to be giving away some prizes throughout the broadcast, and I am going to have to read them here, or I'm not going to get them all correct. Several $100 gift cards for the Portrait Masters store. The Portrait Masters, if you haven't browsed that store, such a huge catalog, so many great classes, so that is going to get you really far. Several free conference passes. So you're going to have to wait though until the end. And if you win, you will get a free conference pass. That is insane. You need to be watching and commenting though. You have to go over to our YouTube channel, and we have a YouTube WPPI channel. And what we want you to do is in the comments there, tell us what you're excited about. And yeah, we do want you to do that. That's how you're going to win these prizes. You have to actually go over to the YouTube and get into the comments. You got this. And you are going to tell us what you're excited about WPPI. And then we need you to include the hashtag WPPI 2023. So hashtag WPPI 2023. And we are going to be giving out prizes to those who have commented throughout the broadcast. Our support team is going to reach out to the winners. So just make sure that you are putting those comments in. All right, but you have to stay until the end because, like I said, I have a surprise giveaway for all of you. All right. So let me just tell you a little, before we get into our interviews that we have, which is what I'm the most excited about, let's be real. I want to share with you a little bit about what we have that's new this year for WPPI 2023 and why we really think that it's going to be the best year yet. And I'm not saying this because anyone is paying me to say this. I'm saying this because I believe it. I have been to this conference, like I said, almost every year for a decade, and I have literally seen it change my career. I've seen it change my friends' careers, and I know that it can do that for you as well. But it's kind of fun too, and it's kind of nice for us to be able to go to like the I think it's kind of like the summer camp for photographers, which is maybe a little silly to say, but anyway, let me tell you about some of the fun things that we are going to do this year. So one thing that's for sure is that we are going to have a lot of shooting bays. So shooting bays are, if you don't know what this is, I'm going to try to explain. It was a new concept to me, and now my mind is just blown. Basically, it is carefully curated little, you could say like mini studios with a concept set up for you. So actually, I might have a shooting bay that's about family photography, while at this one coming up, there may be different types of fashion photography, wedding photography, all different types of genres there. And you're able to go and work with the pro and or just use the equipment or use the lighting that they have set up and take photos for your own portfolio. You get that practice. It's so much value, and the energy is pretty incredible. So not only are you going to get to work side by side with some of your favorite photographers or see or try a new type of lighting, but you will have actual photos that you can use in your portfolio, that you can use for your website, that you can use on social media. Kind of amazing. There are going to be more photo walks. Now, this is a paid add-on, another thing that I'm going to be doing this year. So basically what it is that you, it's kind of like photographers in the wild. As silly as that sounds, it's really kind of what it looks like too. When you're at the conference, you'll see this like big group of really excited photographers like taking a photo. It's kind of cute. I think it's awesome. And you get to work side by side again with a professional photographer who is seasoned in whatever genre or subject that you're working with. So for example, I'll give you me, because I know what I'm doing. I am going to have an actual family there in Las Vegas that we're going to be photographing on my photo walk. You'll get to see me pose, you'll get to see me direct, you'll get to see how I light them, you'll get to see what gear I use, and then you get to get your camera out and right next to me take those photos. And so there will be, like I said, wedding photographers, portrait photographers. I think that people will do street photography, if I remember correctly. So all different types of photo walks. And then there are photo mastery classes. Now, these are kind of a deeper dive. I think if I'm remembering and saying it accurately, it's a smaller group and you get to really dive deep into the subjects. So we have some pretty big industry educators, Jason Vinson, Christina Schreck, Sean Black, Amber, and Garrett Baird. Those are some of the many that are doing mastery classes, and they're filling up fast, by the way. So you got to pop in there and do that. And then if you want to just see the larger classes, which are incredible, we have some of the best speakers in the industry. Now, I know that I'm a little biased because I'm one of them, but I'm just saying that some conferences, I would say, anyway, without saying that, I will say that this conference, our talent seeker, who I know so well, she does a good job of making sure that these speakers are actually coming with the experience that they're claiming that they actually have the experience to back up what they're teaching you. It is really going to be the top-notch educators that you want to hear from, that you want to be inspired by. It's pretty incredible. I think there's over 90 or about 90 speakers. I mean, it's just amazing. So you can find the speaker lineup on the website at WPPI.com, I believe, is the full website, or you can just Google WPPI 2023 and you can pick what classes you would like to see. Now, I don't know, like I said, one of my favorite parts of WPPI is the parties and the networking events. Sometimes I come home and I feel super inspired and I have learned a lot, but the biggest and most impactful thing that happened to me was that I met the right person at a certain party or at a certain networking event. So we've got a 1980s themed costume party. So bring your costumes. We are going to blow the roof off of Las Vegas this year. It's going to be incredible, but I want you to wait until next week where we give you more details on the parties. So I want you to tune in every week. We kind of got something for you every week. And then again, like I said, networking it's really, if that word doesn't ring a bell to you, it means not just, meeting people that you already know or that you've met online, but it means making connections that maybe you are going to start a business collaboration with, or maybe you'll make a connection with someone where you can guest right on their blog, or perhaps you're going to get a connection that allows you to now be a published photographer, or you'll learn about how to become an award-winning photographer, or you meet the right person to get that sponsorship you've been waiting for. Networking is invaluable. And as photographers, a lot of times we sort of operate on our own. We're sort of like this solopreneur that's kind of on an island. And this is where you can really create that community. All right. And of course, there's going to be tons of prizes at the expo. We're going to be giving something away on the showroom floor every single hour, which is pretty cool, at the WPPI lounge. We're talking gift cards, backpacks, actual cameras, really big stuff. And in the next week, we are going to be finalizing the vendor lineup. So by vendors, we mean your camera companies, your print labs, your different types of props, backgrounds, lighting, all of that type of thing, those vendors come to WPPI. And what's really cool about that is that you get to meet the person behind the brand that you're using. I find that really, really valuable as a business owner to say, like, I am using this lab, I am using this camera company, I'm using this lighting company, and now I know who works for them, and now I can work directly with them. So having really great vendors is a super valuable piece for WPPI. All right, so I want you to know that every single Wednesday leading up to WPPI, we will be here live, and we want you to tune in. It's really, really important for us that we create this community now, that we get this started now. But let me first, before I move on to our first guest, I want to give away the first prize winner. So the first for a $100 Portrait Master gift card is James Gordon Patterson. Good job, James. You figured it out. You went over to YouTube. You put that comment. Congratulations. You are going to need to email support@theportraitmasters.com, and they will tell you how to redeem that. And then our free conference winners are Annette Sides and Michael Boos. Congratulations. Free conference passes. This is a huge, huge win. Thank you so much for taking the time to make that comment. And if you would just email info@WPPIevents.com, you are good to go. All right, and I think I got both of those there. I'm going to move on now to what I think is going to be the most fun part of the next hour that we have, or the next 45 minutes we have together. I'm going to start my interviews. This is your chance to meet some of our big speakers that I know will literally change your life. So first up, Roberto Valenzuela, how are you? Can you put your camera on? Yeah, there we go.
It takes a second. Hi, how you doing, everyone? What's happening? I'm so excited to see you guys at WPPI this year. Oh, the best time of the year ever, every single year.
Totally. So Roberto, I would like you to just introduce yourself, give us the Cliffs Notes. You are kind of a legend. For those of you that don't know who Roberto is, you are probably new to the industry. You will find that his name is a common name around here. Tell us who you are and tell us what you're going to be teaching at WPPI.
My name is Roberto Valenzuela. I've been going to PPI forever, literally forever. I've been going for almost 20 years. I think it's my 19th. No, it will be my 20th year this year, 2023. And I have never missed a single WPPI, not even during the pandemic. It's just like, I cannot miss it because it's part of my week. It's part of my year. So every year, doesn't matter what's happening, I'm booked for WPPI. And yeah, I'm an author of a bunch of books. You guys know that. I'm a photographer here in LA. I do editorial and fashion photography. I used to shoot weddings. I still shoot some weddings, not as much anymore, but I do about 2 or 3 a year. And then the rest are like, you know, campaigns and stuff for fashion and editorial stuff here in LA. And yeah, so that's me.
Awesome. And can you share with us what you're teaching this year, what your class is?
So this year I'm doing something a little different because I understand that when I started going to WPPI, not all of us are Bill Gates. So not all of us have, you know, Jeff Bezos money. Okay. So I wanted to know, is it possible to create what I'm seeing with the work that I was inspired by without, you know, taking a second mortgage out of my house, you know, like, because lighting can be very expensive. And I think there's a disconnect that people think if I don't have this lighting, then I won't be able to manage this lighting or this look. Okay. So what I want to do is bring people to my class and let them know that I'm designing a brand new course I've never done before in my life. So even if you have come to my classes before, it wouldn't matter because this is brand new, every single slide. And the point of this class is impactful lighting without breaking the bank. And that's a key factor in your success, to know that you have the confidence to use minimal lighting to go out there and destroy everything that's in front of you and make it look like it was a full production, but it was actually very intelligent use of simple lighting that we can all afford. So that's my goal. I want people to come and know that a lot is possible with minimum gear.
Awesome. so important. And and that's why I want to just say that is particularly important for a conference, is that sometimes when you walk onto that showroom floor that I'm saying is so exciting, you're a little overwhelmed with how much gear there is available. And you think exactly, I need all of this stuff to make it. I need all this stuff to be successful. And that's not true. I mean, it's nice when you get to that point and you can get more, but it is important to know that that you can do things on a minimalist budget. So that's amazing.
Which is
So,
funny because
oh, go ahead.
the higher up I go in my world, the less lighting I need to produce the work that my clients want, which is really interesting. So when people think, oh, this and that, and more complicated is better, that's actually not what companies are looking for. They're looking for, they're looking to work with photographers that can manage any look they want and don't have to drag an entire truckload of stuff to be able to do it. So it's a very practical class. Let's put it that way.
Awesome. What is your WPPI story? And the quick version, I know that we probably you and I could sit here and talk for an hour about our WPPI stories, but what is yours? What got you going with this conference, and why are you one that comes for every year for 20 years?
I'm going to make it very quick and short here. WPPI completely, I know this sounds cheesy, but it definitely, hands down, changed my life. It has completely taken over the way I look at my work, where I am in my work, the friendships I've made, the photographers that have inspired me. That's where I met some of the best photographers that I have met, like Jerry Guionis, and I met, like, just other people, Yervant and Joe Busink, and I remember those guys that just I would feel like I wanted to cry when I saw their work, and it really inspired me to come back to my hometown and be like, what do I need to do to start making steps in that direction? I want to be able to make myself go up in this direction without going to WPPI. You kind of get stuck in your own little bubble, in your own little environment, and you start to feel burnt out, and you start to feel like you're a little bit stuck. And the worst part about being stuck is that if you don't go to shows like WPPI, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how much or what other people are doing in the world. WPPI brings a massive amount of international talent, like no other conference in the world, that's for sure. And this international talent, from Greece to Germany to Croatia to Australia to Japan, it opens your eyes to what these amazing tools we call cameras can do. And the friendships that I have made at WPPI are still my best friends today. They are still people that I can call everywhere I go and be like, let's grab lunch, let's get together. So I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart that it's worth it, even if it was $10,000 a ticket. It should be part of your yearly thing to attend this, because without it, I don't know how we can grow as a community and as an industry. We definitely have to say every year we make this commitment to go and attend the classes and attend the full class and do your research and really plan around WPPI. It will be worth your while. It has taken me from a small little photographer in a tiny town called Tucson nobody knows about, all the way to where I am today. And this has been a blessing for me, and I'm very thankful to everyone that I've met at WPPI for pushing me, encouraging me, showing me the ways, showing me what's possible, and also being able to chat with people and have friendships when the going gets tough. I have friends that I can call and say, hey, this is happening. What are you doing about this? All these friendships were developed there. So
perfect. Well, I want to end on that note. What is it that you're most excited about for this year?
WPPI is going to have a very good 2023. I'm excited about the changes that are being implemented this year. We have new leadership, new management, we have new stuff going on. And the people in charge now are people that really understand how to get a show like this off the ground and how to give people what they need. And I think that the new TLC that WPPI is going to be receiving is going to be very apparent in 2023, like we haven't seen before. And I'm honestly excited about the changes that they implement, the energy they bring in, the parties they plan. the classes, the shooting base, everything that they're doing to let people have an experience they won't forget. You want to be able to grow, you want to be able to have fun, and you want to be able to retain information. And I think the changes that are being made to WPPI are going to be key to everyone's success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today. I know you're a busy working photographer. It means a lot to us to have you here today. So thank you, Roberto.
Thank you,
I
Elena.
am going to move on really quick to answer some of your questions that are coming in. So Six String Brian asks, what is the host hotel this year? Such a good question, actually. Very important piece, isn't it? The WPPI will be at the Mirage this year, which is a pretty cool venue. I'm really excited about it. It's a fresh new venue, I believe. I don't think we were there last year, were we? I don't remember. But yes, it is going to be very cool. So if you haven't been to Vegas, this is the time to go. Kim Johnson says, I'm really mad about the pricing. I paid a long time ago. Well, email customer support and they can help you out. That's a little tip there if you're watching. Monica Plummer is asking if Nikon will be there. Well, I'm glad that you asked, Monica, because next week we are going to be announcing the vendor lineups. So that gives you a reason to tune in next week. Jeremy Ellsworth says, does WPPI need backdrops for their photo bays? Nope, we'll have them there for you. Photo bays are curated and have everything that you need. They are pretty awesome. All right, it's time to give away a couple more prizes. So how about some more $100 Portrait Master gift card winners? We have Cheryl Tumpkin. We have Marna Rojas. We have Meredith Zinner Photography and Tyler Clement. You guys all won $100 Portrait Master gift cards. And for our free conference pass winners this time, we've got Barbara Downen, Barrett Busha Verma, I'm sorry if I am saying these wrong, Mary Pacheco, Joseph James, Michael Holt, and it looks like we may have just added two more Portrait Master giveaways, Tyler Clement and Jenna Roseman. So to redeem your gift cards, just simply email, if you want a TPM gift card, email support@portraitmasters.com. If you won a WPPI pass, email info@WPPIevents.com. All right, next up is the one and only Caroline Tran. I'm so excited. Caroline and I met at WPPI, actually, I think is where we met for the first time a while ago, maybe 5 or so years ago. Caroline, I will let you introduce yourself. Give them a little history of who you are and tell us what you're teaching at WPPI.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I'm Caroline Tran. I'm based in Los Angeles, but I travel all over to shoot. I've been a photographer for 14 years now. I started out as a high school teacher, and I can say that I would not be where I am today without WPPI. So I'm really excited to be to be in a position to be able to help other photographers nowadays, thinking back to where I was 14 years ago, like completely lost in it, like with just a dream of becoming a photographer with no formal training, no business experience, no photography experience. Right. And with just a dream of doing something really creative and being able to make a living with it. So I'm excited this year to be teaching and helping people improve their sales, whether it's in the effectiveness aspect of it, like marketing, being able to get more people to inquire. A lot of this is through the what I call like the top of the funnel, right? But it's like what people are seeing of your business first, which is going to be like your website, your social media presence. It's the stuff where like if someone says, oh my gosh, you got to check out, Elena or Roberto, right? And then people are like, who is this person? They look you up, like, what are they seeing? And are you already taking them down that path to educate them to like, book me, right? So being able to, and how to train your potential new audience to become paying clients.
Yeah. And that skill, how you just put it, is something that I feel like I teach and don't put as eloquently as you just did. So I love that. It's so important. It's so important to know how to do that. and you do have to be able to convert your clients. Oh, such a good class. Okay, well, tell us a little bit about what your WPPI story is. What is your WPPI story? What got you? What was, if you even remember, like your first time, and give us a little.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I was a high school teacher at the time. I love teaching, and that's why I still teach photographers till today. But at that time, I literally had a dream of just being a wedding photographer. I had just gotten married myself, loved just the whole wedding vibe, fell in love with it, didn't want to stop being in weddings after I had my own wedding. And I was shooting for fun. I was the school photographer at the time and borrowed a camera, the school camera, started shooting my coworkers' kids, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're really good at this. You should start doing this professionally." I'm like, "What would that even look like?" So then I told my wedding photographer that, hey, like, I was really embarrassed because I was like, "Oh my God, I'm one of those brides." Like, and so I told her, I was like, "I want to become a photographer now." She's like, "Well, there's this conference, you have to come with us." And so I feel so lucky. Like, I feel like I was just in the right place, right time. I tagged along to WPPI with her and her group of friends. This was like early in my career. And I felt like, because just like what Roberto said earlier, you don't know what you don't know, right? So if I had not been exposed to what a business could look like, I would have been like so slow, right? But it's frustrating because I go there and I see like these big names. So immediately I'm now introduced to, like, my standard, the bar has been raised very quickly, right? I see the level, like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm aspiring to be. And I remember hearing these speakers who were just inspiring me to, like, it's like life-changing. And I was like, one day I want to be that. Like, I want to be able to be up there speaking, not thinking it was actually going to happen. Like, it was just a dream,
Yeah.
So, but I've been every year since, even during the pandemic. It's something that I look forward to every year now. It's like you, right? Like, it's where I meet friends. Most of my industry friends, you don't get to meet in person. A lot of them are just online. And WPPI is like the only place where we get to see each other once a year. It's yeah, photographer spring break.
Yeah, photographer camp, summer camp. That's exactly what happened to me, Caroline. I at the time I was working as a nurse, so I had the safe job, and I was kind of thinking, well, this is what people do, for a side hustle, or and I went to this conference and to WPPI, and I was like, whoa, like this, there are people like making a lot of money doing this. There are people standing on stages and speaking. I didn't realize that the stages were so big, and I said the exact same thing. I came home and I was like, I want that. I'm going to figure that out. And had I not
Yeah.
seen it, I would have never known. I
Mhm.
would have never known.
Yeah. And even just like the type of photography, because at that time, all I knew was what I've seen, right? But going there, suddenly you're introduced to, like, literally like the world's best photographers out there, being able to see what they do. And then not only just see what they do, but they're teaching how they're doing it.
Yeah.
So I just felt like I was able to grow so fast. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, how'd you grow your business so fast? And it's exactly through education, through expanding my world, and just, being a sponge and absorbing as much as I can from everyone.
Yes. Such good advice. So, perfect. So what are you the most excited about for this year for WPPI?
I'm excited to see everyone. I'm excited to, like, this is the time where I get to see my vendors, like people who have been, like albums, prints, software, like things that I've used that have really helped me in my business. And every year it's these connections that I've been able to make with these vendors is why I'm able to run my business so quickly. Because, for example, when things go wrong or when I run into a wall, I have someone I can directly text. And
Yep.
and I know sometimes that I feel like, oh my God, like this sounds like a stupid question, but because we have that personal relationship, like it's a quick way for me to get my answer, and they'll either connect me to somebody who can help me or help me directly. And it's those relationships that I think what will keep you going. And then, of course, all the colleagues, right? Just because otherwise running your own business is actually very lonely. And as I'm sure many of you guys have experienced that, like, we don't have coworkers, we don't have a break room to go to in the middle of the day. You can't, back when I was teaching, I could just go to my neighbor classroom and be like, oh my God, I'm having a really hard day, vent, get some advice. but you can't do that when you're running your own business and especially working from home. And so these connections with other colleagues, like this is the only time I get to see them in person.
Totally. That vendor connection, I think that I'm going to just circle back to that a little bit, because I think people don't realize how important that can be. And we do a boutique school photography segment of my business. I have an associate who does it, but we had a major unprecedented print issue. This doesn't normally happen. And she was just emailing regular customer support. And I was like, no, you need to email this person who I know personally, because I've met him at WPPI every single year, and we got it resolved within like half an hour. And that's that FaceTime, that's that face connection that you really, you can't replace it. I think we learned that in the pandemic. Like, online is great and all, but it's, or, digital communication, texting, whatever, you cannot replace that face-to-face contact, that face-to-face connection. So
yeah, I completely agree.
Well,
yeah,
Caroline,
and then of course I'm excited to
Oh,
teach
go
everyone too. Oh yeah, I'm just saying I'm excited to be able to connect with everyone and teach everyone. So hope to see you guys all in Vegas.
I can't wait to hear. I love hearing you speak. You're such a talented speaker. Well, I'm very excited to see you again this year. I'm going to give you a big hug. Thank you so much for coming on today and taking some time out of your busy day. I'm going to move on and answer a couple more questions. So Jenny said that she missed the email that she needs to redeem the WPPI 2023 prize that she won. So you email info@wppievents.com. and they will hook you up with what you are missing. Another question, do we find the reminders for these live events every Wednesday? And are there other ones that I am missing? Well, I'm so glad that you are eager to find out, because we are bringing on all kinds of new stuff right now. They just started today, and that means we're doing a good job and that you're enjoying yourself. If you tune back here on YouTube at noon Pacific time every Wednesday, and again next week, or on Facebook as well, for WPPI Facebook as well, you will be able to find the live events. But you can also, follow us, and we will make sure that we let you know. So Keith says, it's a little intimidating since I don't know anyone and I'm coming alone. Keith, come. First time that I went, and I already kind of shared this story, but I'm going to share it again just to inspire you. I was a brand new mom with a camera. So I felt like nobody was going to ever take me seriously, right? I am like that person, and I've stood on that soapbox now and use it as a superpower, but I felt a little bit embarrassed about that. I didn't know anyone was an actual photographer full time. I was just like, but I had made this friend on this mom blog forum, and she was also coming. Literally the only other person that I knew, my ex-husband would tease me. He's like, you're going to show up and it's going to be, some guy or something. This is before we've trusted the internet like we do now. Anyway, I digress. I went. She and I have, we didn't even actually spend that much time together because we had our own agendas. And before I knew it, I had tons of people to hang out with. I was going to lunch with brand new friends. I was having drinks at parties. I was staying up way too late at said parties. By the way, get ready to maybe lose a little bit of sleep when you go. I really promise that you will find that the environment is so friendly. Anytime you see someone who's a speaker with that on their badge, you can go up to them and introduce yourself. We're all like so inviting and so friendly. We want to make you feel included. And then everyone who's new will get a little blue ribbon that they can put on their badge. And that allows those of us who are longtime WPPI veterans to make sure that we are being extra inclusive. So do not be intimidated. Think of it as an after work party that you were just invited to, cocktails after work, something like that, happy hour, and come. And if anyone that's here that's feeling intimidated, like, this is where you're going to find your people. And I will tell you from experience, you cannot thrive. Humans are tribal people. We need community. You cannot thrive without community. And your life will change if nothing else happens at WPPI, except for that you meet a handful of friends that you can, send a text to about like, oh my gosh, this just happened. This client just complained. I don't like this, whatever. Your business is going to expand and change just because of that. So sorry that I went a little overboard on that question, but it's because I feel very passionate about community. All right, a couple more prizes. This is like, I feel like I'm like, throwing prizes around. I need like one of those little things that shoots t-shirts. So we got two more $100 Portrait Master gift card winners. We have Julie Kirby, I believe is what that says, and Amanda Colette. Sorry, I'm reading these off of a little thing and I may be saying them wrong. So if that's you, go over to, or go ahead and send that email. And then for the free conference ticket winners, we have 113, that must be the name of your business. CLBD 39 also must be the name of your business. Jen Hargove, Kathy Foster, and Daniel DeWild Peace. If that is you, if you put your name into the YouTube chat, go ahead and send your emails to and I'm going to have that slide come up, to support@theportraitmasters.com for your TPM gift cards, and to info@WPPI events for your free conference pass. So exciting. All right, we have our final guest, the one and only Kat Ford Coates. She is, I feel like your aesthetic, like your beauty matches your work. And I'm always like, God, I should have like put a cooler shirt on or something. But I love speaking to you. I love hearing you. I got to hear you speak for the first time at TPM conference, but I want you to share with them a little bit about who you are and what you'll be teaching at WPPI this year.
Sure. Thanks for having me. And I got to watch your talk. I remember watching your talk and turning around, and you were like taking this giant step forward, making this impactful statement. And I was like, damn.
Except I'm 5'2", so I'm like trying to be tall, but I'm not.
Well, I am Kat Ford Coates. I am a portrait photographer. I'm based in Asheville, North Carolina, but I'm often on the road in Florida and Arizona as well. Nice, short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah. There's a tiny bit of a delay, so if it looks like I'm waiting, that's why. Now, tell us what you're going to be teaching at WPPI so you can get our audience excited to come see you.
Sure. And actually, I'm really kind of glad that, Caroline and Roberto both brought in like their stories about starting and coming to WPPI as like a young photographer, even like pre-business. Because what I'm teaching is about taking that vision, that dream of becoming a portrait photographer and making that a reality in a step-by-step way, right? Like, look, if that's really what it is that you want to do, you want to see if it's even possible for you, but here, then let's do it. In 1998, I was taking a college course and I was in a dark room and learning how to develop black and white film. And I remember stopping and thinking and being like, man, this would be such a cool job. But I had no idea how I would do it. And so I left and I went to go to my Pizza Hut job, right? Like, no offense to food service, like I was in it for a long time. But had I had, a class or somebody to show me like, hey, get it together, like this can be your reality. And so that's really what I was inspired to teach for this year. And I'm so excited, so excited.
It's such an important step that a lot of us skip, right? Like, I will have students who finally find their way to me or find their way to another friend that's teaching about business, and they're wondering why it's not working, and they're really talented, but it's like they never took the time to learn exactly what you're saying. They never took the time to learn that business stuff. And even the early stage business stuff can be really hard to break down, or even be really hard to know where to start. So it's so important, and such a cool concept that you're teaching. I'm excited. That's awesome.
Thanks.
I'm excited for all of you that are in the early stages of your business, because if you're thinking, hey, is this for me? Should I be going to a conference? Like, there's gonna be plenty of offerings for you. So that's awesome. So what is your WPPI story? What give me a quick version of what.
Sure. So I was actually invited to Print Handle in 2019, I believe, 18 or 19. I don't know, the last 3 years are kind of a blur. But my friend Kitty McNeil and Sarai Taylor Rahman were a proctor and a print handler the previous year. And they were like, Kat, you've got to do this. I was just starting to try and wrap my head around, upping my work and submitting for awards. And they were like, look, this is going to, really elevate your understanding of, the technique and the print piece of things. And I came in, and that year, even as a print handler, having never been to a conference, everybody welcomed me so openly. And we're talking like Lindsay Adler, Michelle Celentano, you know, like these names that were just like, oh my gosh, okay, right? And they were all so friendly and so nice. And like, I can pick up my phone now and text Michelle, you know, and like, we're colleagues and can have those conversations. And that never would have been possible without even just walking in the door for WPPI. Like the community is so open and welcoming, that it really felt like home. And so even through the pandemic, like I kept going back, and you know, I am a mentor for Sue Bryce Education, and so I was there to represent TPM and Sue Bryce Education, you know, through the pandemic, and you know, continued to build that community and just feel really terrific because, as you know, Caroline and Roberto said, it's being an entrepreneur is isolating. It
Yeah.
is, and you have all of your friends online, right? But at the end of the day, like knowing that there are real people on the other end of those profile pictures that are there to be on that journey with you, that's everything, everything.
Yeah, mic drop. Totally. And it's funny that you say Michelle Santino, because when I first saw her, way back in the day, I saw her speak. And then when I finally got the guts to go talk to her, when I saw her at a bar, actually in the hotel. That's the thing. You have so many opportunities to meet people. And I was like, you know what? She's the myth, the legend. I'm going to go up and say hi to her. And she was the sweetest thing. And I would say that she's a friend of mine now too. And it's such a welcoming environment. It's such a welcoming environment.
Yeah, no, and I think if anybody is like sort of the poster child of everything that WPPI kind of stands for in building community, it's Michelle. Like she's so friendly and so open and just a wonderful flippin' person. Love her to death.
Agreed 100%. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see everybody. That's definitely the best part. I am going to move on to more prize giveaways.
Sure.
We have a ton. So we have more $100 Portrait Master gift card winners. We've got Leuna Stone. I'm sorry if I'm saying these wrong. Stacy Brooklyn and Melinda Harthrong. Those are the $100 Portrait Master gift cards. And then we have more. We have a ton. We are giving away conference passes like crazy over here. We've got Milton Hudson, Sherry Bellamy, Jimmy Fleets, Kathy Foster, A Muse, Peter Qualino, Garen Horner, Kate Swearldlow, sorry if I said that wrong, Granola Bards, must be somebody's name, Angela Lopez, Kathy Arnett, and Bubblegum Dish. If that is you, you just won a free conference pass and A+ on the interesting names as well. So we'll put that slide up so you can find the email address that you need to email to redeem your gift cards and your WPPI passes. Congratulations, everyone. That is like pretty cool. We gave away a ton of free conference passes. I hope that you come. So now that we have come to the end of our first live, and I promise you I will get a little more inflow with these, but now that we've come to the end, we have the big giveaway that we said that you had to stay for. You're here, you're going to win it. We have a huge digital swag bag to give to everyone that is here. So everyone that is here live, and you got to be here on the live, that's what we want you here in the flesh. You're all getting a digital swag bag thanks to the Portrait Masters. So if you go to the Portrait Masters website and use the code WPPI Live, you will be able to claim your digital grab bag. And I don't know what's in there, but I imagine it's a bunch of amazing, cool, free stuff. They never hold back. So you definitely want to go log in and claim that. It's only available for 24 hours from right now. So if you're watching on the replay, this is your inspiration to not miss the live next week, because we are going to be giving away live prizes to everyone that is there live. So we want to make sure that you stay and talk to us. We want to answer your questions. We want to see you. So next week, we will be here again on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. We do not have the guests lined up yet, but that is coming. And we will be announcing a project that I have been working on, that I've been teasing out on my Instagram account. I feel like my community is getting annoyed with me. So finally next week, we will get to share the project that I've been working on, and we will disclose the vendor lineup, which I have been privy to a bunch of the big vendors that are going to be present, and it's really, really exciting, and you don't want to miss it. So bring your friends, sharing is caring, and join us next week, Wednesday, noon Pacific time, more prizes, more announcements, more guests, vendors. We got everything. If you can't tell, I'm excited about WPPI. And I think one thing that you will find is that everyone that has attended will tell you that they're excited about it. It is a whole thing. You like join a family when you go. So make sure that you join the official WPPI Facebook group for more updates and things that are happening for us there. And come and see me and so many other folks at WPPI. It's going to be a massive lineup. It is really exciting to be back. I feel like this is the year of in-person events. This is the year where we get to kind of heal from all of the isolation that we experience. So I hope to see you there. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being here today.